Let me ask you something. When was the last time your phone rang and it actually mattered? Because for Christian, his phone was silent for more than 2 years. He's hustling nonstop with cold calls, but getting nothing but rejection. And then, out of nowhere, he stumbles on a YouTube video about voice AI. But what even is that? Another shiny tech trend without any future? Except, what if it isn't? Because here's the twist. It wasn't just new software. Christian found a real community with people answering his questions by actual mentors. And suddenly, his phone lights up and he's getting inbound calls. Now clients are actually pursuing him. And this is wild. It's the same guy, the same industry, just that the rules flipped. It wasn't about hustling harder, it was about mastery, about having a team at his back. Christian didn't just sell, he actually became wanted. Look, if you're still stuck grinding, don't overthink it. Christian even says this chance is just waiting on a silver plate. But the real shift, that is what happens after those calls. That's exactly where everything changes. Christian, thanks for joining our call. I appreciate your time and being here. Read a lot of really cool stuff in our community, so your engagement I think is one of the best that we've seen so far. So yeah, really happy having you on.
Thanks, Janis. I'm happy to be in there, and yes, it's a great opportunity. It's a great time, and I'm proud of being one of the first ones, along with you guys. I mean, you've been a few months or years earlier, but someone will always be earlier, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to
True.
have the support from the community, and yes, to finally keep my business going after 2 years of
Yeah, that
struggle.
is awesome. That is super awesome. Like, how was that whole experience for you so far with the Voice AI Bootcamp?
With the Voice AI Bootcamp, it was great. Basically, just I would give a little context on how we started with Voice AI, maybe if you don't mind,
Of
how
course,
we
yeah.
got involved, and then our journey, what brought us to Voice AI, and why I think it's a really, really, really cool opportunity,
Yeah, go for
right?
it.
So, basically, we were a classic cold call agency, and anyone who does cold calls in Germany or in some other country knows it's a very, very full market. So always, if you offer something which people can offer easily, which people can enter easily the business, you'll have a lot of competition. And that was our first approach, that we heard of Voice AI, we saw an ad and thought us, well, we need to get into this space just to automate our cold calls. And then we bought another program, Learn Building Voice AI, but really going deep into it started with Voice AI Bootcamp, because I saw then a YouTube video from Yanis why it's a great starting point to start a voice agency in 2025. You might know which one.
Yep.
And like I was, okay, I will join this free community. And I saw the content, and I immediately realized there is a depth in knowledge I think you won't find anywhere else in voice AI. So basically, lots of people start right now putting out some videos and building up their own communities. But the great thing in Voice AI Bootcamp is these are people who are experienced in bringing out real world solutions. And I think that's the difference, because I think many people start just a program because they didn't make it to sell these solutions in the real business life. But Voice AI Bootcamp, they got practical approaches and real world solutions which actually work and are production ready, and that's reflected in the quality of the program and content.
Love it.
So
Yeah, that
yes.
is awesome. I really love it. Was it easy for you to get started? Like the whole technical parts?
Mm. So basically, when I started Voice AI Bootcamp, I already had some templates from the other coaching, but I didn't understand how they worked. And with Voice AI Bootcamp, the basics of the video course I knew, but the depth in knowledge, to me at least, came through the Q&A calls, because I heard them always talk about technical stuff, and I was like, I don't even understand half of this stuff." And but I always was involved and kept going, and asked maybe some stupid questions in the beginning, but then I made progress really quickly. And then always, what was also a great accelerator for my success and experience was that, for example, Henrik always followed up. Like, what's up with this? What's up with this? And then we started building cool stuff together. And then one thing came to another. And sooner or later, I was not only understanding the whole workflows from the templates I had from before, I was building my own stuff out of it.
That's super cool. So would you say as well it's like more of an accountability thing and like everyone can basically learn it?
Of course. Of course. I think some people are more technical and some people are less. But business is a game you play in a team sport, I say. And even if you're not that technical, you can come here, you can get involved in this stuff and find, for example, in the networking calls someone. I mean, some other people also found each other. And basically, voice AI, if you just sit down and um, take your time to learn this stuff, it's not that difficult.
Yeah, true. It just takes time, right? Time and
And
understanding. It's like anything.
time and rest that you can get creative, because it's a creative work developing. You can't just you need to think for yourself. But I think for people like this, it's the greatest business, especially due to the fact that we are in a market, we are before the market even.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we got right now the opportunity to build ourselves a base up. And if we when we have this base, then and the people will know that these solutions actually exist, they will come to us, and because we are the experienced ones. So anyone looking for a business right now, I would recommend to just start.
100%. Yeah. Like what was the biggest thing for you that you realized as a difference from the business you do now compared to back then without voice AI?
The difference is that people are actually interested in what we sell. So with other business models, you can take anything like cold calls, or I don't even know what's out there, because I don't care anymore. But the problem is, if you sell something where people know what it is and get it offered, for example, 2, 3, or 5 times a week, they're not interested. And the ones you go into sales calls with, that's different, because all we knew before voice AI from the sales part was just talking to people. We made already dozens of objection handlings before getting actually in a call. And then it's different to close a client like this than someone, for example, today we have a call with someone, their assistant. And it's funny because back in the time, the assistants of the people where we called rejected us and said, no, they're not available. Now the assistants of these people call us and make appointments. And that's funny. And they made an appointment, and they also said, as a description, we have high call volumes. So they actually need the solution. And when they come in the call, the main difference, to come back to your question, is the people are interested in actually buying it. And then it's just a thing of maybe 2, or for some companies 4 weeks, but they will buy it if you're competent. And if you sell something else, you really need to rip your ass off to even consider. They won't buy it if it's not useful to them.
Exactly, yeah. It's very easy to see for businesses nowadays how useful voice AI is. Like, and we are still in the beginning, right? Now with the release of Sesame, you probably have seen as well. Once this stuff is live, it's gonna be another game changer. And I think for us, like, if you see it like from your perspective, I mean, you're in the game now for a couple of months, I would say, for voice AI.
Mhm.
With the amount of leads that you get right now, where do you think all of this is going to head in the next 12 months for you?
Well, leads is actually still an issue for us, but basically we get each week we get leads for a handful of leads. But basically, I know that's just a part. If we really dig down deep into this topic, we'll make it, because lead generation is just another skill. Like is it with building voice AI? Like you just said, anyone can do it if you invest enough time and effort, and if you really want to learn it. So I mean, actually, what we earn with this is more than we earned with any other business. So we are completely fine with this for now. But when we focus more on lead generation, and there is even course material for that, I know that, then it will explode. It's no matter.
Yeah. True. The hardest part is, I think, the beginning. But once you have one solution that you can deploy successfully, and you know how it works, you know all the pain points, and from there you can easily replicate things, and then just go nuts on advertisements, etc.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
really.
that's a very good thing. Yeah, I love that. Awesome. How did you like describe then the whole experience with voice AI bootcamp? I mean, we are now out for a couple of months, so there's also been quite a lot of changes from our side. Is there anything that you specifically love a lot about what we offer?
Yes, but it's not a specific part of content, because I think content, high quality content, you can find on the one address or on the other. What I like is the availability of both you and Hendrik, that you are there if there's something, and you really realize a dedication to make the people better and to get their business going. And it's not just about accountability that you ask follows up. It's also about, if I have something, I can book a call with Hendrik, for example, and that's great because he's a really great technician. And also, I know what's how valuable his time is, and that's why I appreciate it, that I can go to the calendar anytime and book 30 minutes with him, and we'll get this stuff done. And I think that's the main difference, because that's like I mentioned, the depth in knowledge which really makes the difference, because you don't only know what you do, you also know why to do it this way and not another way. And that reflects itself, this attitude reflects itself in the program. Yes.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly that. Yeah, experience and how to connect the dots is better than having just the knowledge, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you want to build life. If you're in a live environment and you actually need to deploy solutions, for sure. Yeah, thanks for
Mm.
sharing that. There's one more thing that I think would be really interesting, and or specifically interesting for us, is like with everything that you've experienced so far, is it something that you would recommend to someone else, or even better, what would you give someone along the way that is not part of the Voice AI Bootcamp right now, but they are maybe still hesitant of joining?
Stop overthinking. I mean, which kind of opportunity are you waiting for? Like in German, we say, es wird auf dem Silbertablett serviert. It gets served on a silver plate. So it's a great opportunity. And I mean, anyone who considers about joining right now Voice AI and won't do it, they will bite their own ass within a year, I tell you, because then will be maybe there a point where everyone enters, and the experienced ones reap the real benefit. So I wouldn't know any reason why to hesitate changing, even because you have the free community, you can see how valuable the content is. And then also the pricing for the premium community, I was like, what?
Yeah,
When I heard the price, I thought really it wasn't even a. I paid for other programs thousands of dollars, so it wasn't even a thing to think about. If you look for opportunity, go in there and invest your time, and within 6 months we can talk again, and you'll see what a good
100%.
decision it was.
Yeah, I love that. That is super cool to hear. Well, thanks, Christian, for sharing all of this. I really appreciate it. Is
Welcome.
there anything else that you want to share from your side?
It's not a get rich quick scheme,
Oh, nah,
but
for
if you
sure not.
put in time and effort, it's really worth it, because I think if you when you can build this stuff, I've learned it in the last months, to build this stuff, and if you understand it, it's a really really great benefit from the time you invest. So, for example, you invest for a project a few hours, and you get that. You can't even compare that to another opportunity, I think, because if you know once how to build it, you can replicate it, and that's a great opportunity. So anyone who looking for something, I mean, I couldn't imagine a better business model to start with than this right now, because you're free, you can live where you want, you get good money and lots of opportunities to come in the future.
Exactly. Yeah, the opportunities are endless. I mean,
Yeah,
one of the reasons why we have this bootcamp is because we have so many opportunities that we cannot serve them ourselves. So you guys are our like secret weapon of bringing in more talent into the market and
yeah,
hopefully getting a bit more of coverage. So yeah, I appreciate the feedback. That is really, really helpful. And thanks again for being part of the community, especially so early. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some really exciting things up the line in the future. And yeah, probably see you again in the elite community. Thanks a lot for joining.
Welcome, Yanis. Thanks to you guys for putting out this great program, and I'm glad. I'm looking forward to see what will come for each one of us, because I think there's enough for anyone
Yep,
to
definitely.
participate in this market.
Yep, love it. Thanks, man.
Welcome.
If you stuck with me this far, really, thank you very much. Most people just scroll by, but you actually wanted to understand. And this matters a lot to me. And maybe now you're realizing that this isn't just about AI or some shiny tool. For people like us, it's about building something that actually gives us time and options. That is exactly why I built the Voice AI Bootcamp. It's not really for hype, but for helping actual people create real results in the real world. There will be no more guesswork, real answers, and an actually real community. And with real, I really mean real. We are in this together. Inside of it, you get the systems, step-by-step tutorials, and even a cheering community that helps you build this business. So you won't get stuck in repetitive tech problems, and no, you definitely don't need to figure out everything by yourself. The goal is to just start and let momentum do the rest. Because honestly, and I've told it many times, technology means freedom if you control it. So if you're ready to build your own, that next step is literally waiting for you inside the Voice AI Bootcamp. You've honestly earned it.